All right. Welcome, everybody, to episode 5 of Fresh Towels, the podcast, here live from New York. Lots of big news today. I don't even know where to start besides just a lot of things happening. A lot of things happening in the world. And thought we'd kick off with some big news in the sports world. Also, if you're from Boston, is it bittersweet? I don't know. Tom Brady retired today. Officially retired. Did you hear that news, Mike?
I heard other Tom Brady news today.
What other Tom Brady news did you hear?
Well, you do yours, and then I'll do mine.
Well, mine's probably going to be what everyone knows. Tom Brady has retired. He says, for good. We've heard that before, which ironically, I don't know if he did it on purpose or he just did it, the timing of it. It was the same time. He retired last year on February 1st. This year he retires on February 1st. He's done, as they say. We'll see. I mean, you can't retire twice. I think Michael Jordan, how many times did he retire? He retired 3 times,
3 times.
I think.
From 2 different sports.
He retired. He went basketball retirement, baseball retirement, basketball retirement, basketball retirement. Too many times to retire. I think he acknowledged in his retirement post today on the gram. He's like, listen, you can only really retire once. He kind of did an abbreviated retirement speech. And he's done. I don't know. I think he missed the boat on the retirement. You got to go out on top, Tom. He won the Super Bowl. He was like 49 years old. He won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He should have retired then. He has to go out. His last game was such a dud. I can't believe that that's what he's going to go out as. But listen, what a career. He's done, though. I know people in New England like myself, we look at it. It's tough. I'm happy for Tom that he went down to Florida. He did his thing. But listen, I knew it. You can't bring your girl down to Florida. You can't bring your girl down to Florida. She wanted to go down there. She's like, I want to go live in the sunshine and be by the beach. The dude's divorced 24 months later. Of course, keep her in Brockton or wherever they lived in Massachusetts, out in Foxborough. No one's going to tempt Giselle in the middle of the woods. I want to go live by the beach. Yeah, no shit. Divorced. He's lost 50 pounds. Retired. Had a losing season. That's what happens when you go down to Florida. It's great for a minute. You win a Super Bowl. You're down there for 1 year. You're like, oh my God, it doesn't get cold. Then what happens? You are retired and wifeless. Can't bring your girl down to Tampa. Too tempting.
I think it's too tempting the other way around.
And where? In Boston?
No,
have you been to Boston in the winter?
It's more. No, I'm saying you can't bring anyone to Florida because for him too, it's more tempting for him.
Sure.
Mons Venus, 2001: Space Odyssey. I mean,
these are some of the best strip clubs in the country are down in Tampa.
Full contact stripping.
Full contact. It's.
Do you bring football players down there where they're living a full contact lifestyle? You think they're not going to get in a little trouble?
They do have a full contact lifestyle, and yeah. What can I say? I think I predicted it at one point a few years ago, is the midst of COVID, but I knew once he went down to Tampa, things are not going to go good. It's like
it happens with Favre.
Where did he go?
Broadway Joe. Every time they get traded off, well, at the end of towards the twilight of their career, they do it. They get something good, and then it's done. Like they
wobble. They
one
fall
last
off.
Shot at it.
I think that the place had a lot to do with it. I think, honestly, if he went to another team, let's play, for example, if Brady went to San Francisco, which was in the talks for a minute, he goes to San Francisco. His family's there. He's got mom. He's got pop. He's got all his family around. I think this is a different scenario. Janelle. That's a much different girl. Janelle and Giselle are different. Giselle, if she's around family, is probably not going to mess around or whatever. I don't know what happened with them. But I think the temptation of being in the sunshine, there's too much vitamin D coming in, if you know what I mean.
Well,
she was getting some vitamin D for sure.
Do you want my Tom Brady news?
What's your Tom Brady news?
Well, very, very similar to what you were saying. Tom might have been getting a little too much vitamin D himself.
He was giving off the D.
No. So there are now photographic rumors going around that internet sensation. This is all hearsay, alleged. Just listen to me. Okay. I know this is going to hurt you.
Okay, this is going to hurt me. Go ahead, hurt me.
Do you know Jeffree Star? YouTuber, makeup, very flamboyant
Let me look him up. Okay.
I don't know how they identify, so I'm just going to call them.
Jeffree Star, bringing it up.
But apparently, Jeffree has been boasting a lot about his NFL boyfriend, and the photos that he's posting with this person, these internet sleuths are now saying, look at the shape of the ears, because you only see the back of the head.
Dude.
Bro.
Dude, what?
Let me just explain something to you. Tell me right now, what quarterback is the back of that head? Tell me who that is.
Okay, it looks.
You're stuttering. Go ahead.
It looks Tom Brady-esque.
Okay, now what other 6'6" NFL star?
Okay,
has that same calic, that same hairdo, that's the same slopey.
But you're making you're also
maybe my parents were related ears. You know what I mean? Like
you're jumping off a major cliff here. You're saying. I'm not saying
anything. I'm telling you what the internet is saying.
Okay, sure. But if the internet is saying there's a picture of Jeffree Star with Tom Brady, I mean, they can be friends.
That's not what Jeffree Star is saying, though. He's been talking about this is my boyfriend. And there's lots of photos with this person holding hands on a balcony. And it's big, lanky hands that fingers long enough to seem to be
and Jeffree Star
abnormally long fingers that possibly could grip a football very well. And who needs that? A quarterback. All I'm saying I'm just reporting the news here. Don't come at me.
I don't think that it's Tom Brady.
Okay.
The other news is that Tom Brady
saying it's Gronkowski?
That doesn't look like Gronk.
No, it doesn't. But
his
looks
head
like
looks like a cinder block. I don't think that's Gronk. Well, that's interesting. That would be quite a plot twist in the life of Tom Brady. I don't think that is Tom Brady in a relationship with Jeffree Star, as you have. The internet has suggested.
As I have reported. I have not said it.
All I can say is, for sure, if you're going to go down to Florida, you got to be prepared that things are going to get shaken up a bit. It's too much sunshine. There's too many bikinis. There's too many guys working out in the gym. Giselle has like a trainer. Giselle's trainer who's teaching her Taekwondo or something. It's like, I don't want my wife rolling around with a guy from Brazil. You know, they don't do that up in Foxborough, Massachusetts, okay? That's for the kids. There's no one doing that type of training in Newton, Mass. If your kids if kids do Taekwondo or karate, like I did karate, I got a yellow belt, 2 stripes when I was in the 1st grade. If my mom was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do karate now," I'd be like, "Mom, she's whacked out."
I retired at yellow belt, 2 orange stripes. That's when I retired. I hung up the belt. I hung up the gi.
You know what I found out? My wife just told me this like a few weeks ago, that my wife is a black belt in karate.
How often do you guys speak?
I never.
When you say I just found out my wife is a black belt?
Is a black belt in karate. It wasn't like something that she did 2 weeks ago. Like
this was in 5th grade.
Just got it. Yeah, she told me that when she was a kid, she elevated to the ranks of black belt karate, and you know, admittedly, she would say the same thing. She's not athletic. She's not.
It's just funny to hear someone say, "Oh, I just found out my wife is an expert level karate."
Well, then she's like, "Do you want me to show you a kick?" And she did this crazy kick.
And it worked?
I mean, she didn't hit me, but she showed me the.
And it looked like a karate person would do?
Yeah, she even got into like the thing.
Did she go, "Hia!" when she did it? That's what we were taught.
She scares me that maybe she could strike wood and break it.
Why? Did you ever find out why you didn't get your third orange stripe?
I think I gave up.
Really?
I gave up. My mom was telling me about
during the audition?
For why I didn't progress onto
no.
more stripes?
Because you get 3 stripes. The number of stripes depends on how good you did getting to that level. I remember it like
karate
it's
was definitely not for me.
Okay. It was for me, and then they lost that stripe, and I got pissed, and I think that's
there was a few years where Mom and Dad were searching for a winter activity to keep me busy because I was far from Tiger Woods, but I played golf in like the fall-ish time.
Thank you for clarifying.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want you to think that I was out there like shooting 3 under.
I wasn't.
But I played golf for fun. I did play golf in high school, but that was like one of the sports. And then I played baseball, I was heavy into baseball. That was my thing.
Well, yeah, there's
But
evidence.
winter, I had no sport, and on my mother's side, my mom was a figure skater. She did it like kind of like amateur figure skating
Sure.
as in like a team. They called them the Haydenettes in
Okay.
Lexington. It was
Yeah.
big group figure skating. She's excellent skater. And my grandfather, my uncle were excellent hockey.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather was a hockey coach for 30 years. So they
Okay.
tried to get me to do hockey, but I didn't know how to stop.
That's one of the two
Very
things you really need to know how to
important.
do.
I was checking people at the tryouts. It was hysterical. Like you do these drills, and like my uncle, you're in a line. My uncle would be there, shoot you the puck. You do a little thing, and then you wrap around the rink and come back into line. My dad has it on videotape. I'm like, I do the drills, get through it. I come back to the line, and I'm just checking people on the way in. I don't know how to stop at
You're not
all.
checking people necessarily. You're just
Falling
praying,
down, yeah.
praying to stop somehow.
I was also very small. Like in those years, I was significantly under 5 feet. So long story short, my parents were trying to find winter things for me to do. And
Right.
one of the things that they tried to get me into was karate classes,
Right.
which I did break wood, which I think is how you get your first stripe.
Yes,
if I remember
believe that's
correctly.
one of them. I think that's the final one before they hand you your belt after that.
Which I think that there was some horseplay involved with the wood breaking because I was like 8. There's no way that I think that they're like
It's
these
weak
are
wood for sure.
definitely weak wood, and there was a little bit of action.
These
I think
aren't
with my
four
karate
by
teachers.
fours, yeah, and
Yeah.
they're definitely getting the boards that are like they're using the vertical lines in the wood. You're not doing
Sure.
it horizontally.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
no construction was being done with these wood planks.
No.
These were weak wood, thin weak wood.
And by the way, karate is a complete scam. By the way, there's no regulations as far as like
How you get
who gets
graded?
the belt, who gets the grade. Like you don't have to be certified in some like karate
to teach
the
it.
AAA comedy or AAA karate forum to become a. No, it's just it's a kid's activity until
So
a certain point. But the kids doing all that stuff, it's like I knew a kid that was a red belt, and I was like, "You're in 3rd grade."
Well, that's what I feel about my wife being a black belt. I'm like, who's certifying her? Who bumped her up the ranks?
There was a kid that was in my school, in my 3rd grade class, who was a green belt, and that's pretty high up there. And I was like,
Is green above red?
I think red is the second. I think it's green, brown, red, brown.
I never
black.
saw a brown belt.
Oh, brown belt was right below black. Brown
Belts-
belt is the guy as you're trying to get up there, but
Karate.
he was a green belt, and I was very pissed off because I was like, I could beat this guy up. You know, I was in
Could you,
3rd
though?
grade. Who knows? He had a rat tail, a really long rat tail that I was very jealous
There's
of.
always one rat tail in every elementary school.
I loved it.
especially in the 90s.
Justin, his name was, and he looked like he was about 60. Like he looked like a haggard farmer.
So I will give you this is okay. So there are 6 belt colors in
Great.
karate. I got white belt. Now you can go before you ascend to a new belt color. You do get stripes.
Yes.
It's not just straight down the line.
Right.
But here is the order, and like I vaguely remember this order. So you white belt, you have to earn. You don't start with a belt, I don't think, or maybe you do.
I think
maybe they
I
give
think
you
it's
a
what
belt.
keeps your shirt closed. I think white belt is just.
You didn't do the
is
nude
the start.
karates?
No.
Okay, so maybe you're right. Maybe you do start with
Did you
just
grow
a
up
plain
in a
back-
cult?
Yeah, I didn't leave the school. I slept there and we did karate. So white belt, you just start
Yeah.
on sign up. Anyone can get a white belt. Then you get stripes.
1999. It's yours.
Mine was probably earlier than that. It's probably like 98, maybe even earlier than that, maybe 97. Anyway, white belt, then you get purple belt, which I feel like I knew some purples. Then you go, according to this, you go purple, red, orange, yellow. Now we're in the heavy hitters here. Green, blue, brown, then black.
See, yeah, that's not at all That's not what we see. This is what I mean. It's unregulated. This is an unregulated advancement system.
Well, then there's other.
That's like going from intern to CEO, where I come from.
So, well, then there's other. Like, there's another dojo here that I'm looking into.
Steve's
that has
dojo
different-
does it all different.
Well, yeah, this guy, Bert's dojo here. He goes white with a blue stripe. I had white with a yellow stripe. Then you go blue, yellow, orange, green, brown, black.
So brown black seems to be consistency. We were
Brown black seems to be.
we were
end.
white, yellow, orange, green, blue, red, brown, black. If I'm not mistaken.
That's impressive that you remember that.
I think that's what it was. I definitely know the first 3 and the last 2 are right. The blue, purple, red, green. I'm not 100% sure.
So let me tell you, this dojo here, GKX martial arts,
Obviously.
which I highly subscribe to their system.
Sounds like G Kicks.
Now, they have some things in order with some other things. This is how I remember it. They have the belts going white, yellow as second, which is what I remember
what we did too.
So white, yellow, orange, blue.
Okay, that sounds right so far.
Purple.
Okay.
Green.
Yes.
Red.
Yep.
Brown, black.
Yeah. Okay.
That
sounds
like
pretty
what
close.
I did.
Yeah.
So this other karate belt, this other dojo, he's way off. That was Emma Dojo LA.
Emma.
Emma in LA.
Please.
She's doing it backwards. I don't think
Please, LA.
I like GKX martial arts. This dojo.
We do East Coast martial arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're snapping wood off to get a yellow here at the GKX dojo.
So there was a kid in my class, this rat tail kid.
The rat tail kids are always good at karate.
Rat tail kid had a green belt, and I was like, how is this kid doing it so much? And so we had like Halloween day or whatever. Like on Halloween, you dress up.
On Halloween?
Well, it might have been like I don't think it was Halloween. It was like dress up as your whatever day. Like, what's your favorite hobby? I don't fucking know, man. Kids in elementary school, you're just trying to keep them alive. And so me and him were going to wear our karate outfits, and I was only a yellow belt. And he's a green belt, and I was like, this is so fucking embarrassing. So I wore my yellow belt, but I kept telling everybody, I was like, yeah, I wore the yellow belt because I couldn't find the black one. So I just went to the yellow one, and he goes,
I don't think anyone believed that.
Of course not. He goes, you have a black belt, but you went all the way down to the first belt, which is yellow? He goes, I don't believe
straight
you.
up.
I go, no, dude, I'm telling you right now. I think it's in the wash. Like, I just came up with a million stories.
No one washes the belts.
I don't know, man.
The rat tail kids,
Stink.
I can still picture the rat tail kids in elementary school, in the 90s especially. I felt like always had advanced video game technology. Like they always had the latest
advanced
games.
Rosacea. They all seemed a little crusty.
A Ninja Turtles t-shirt, and always seemed to be the fastest at something. Like gym class, the rat tail kids were always way ahead of everyone else.
See, I don't know. I grew up in the South, so I think the rat tail kids were the dirty kids. Like the ones that their necks were always dirty. Like they always smelled like, half-dried laundry.
Tuna fish sandwiches?
Yeah, and they had dirt on their
under
their fingernails.
Rat tail kids brought their own lunch for sure, though.
I don't remember. Not specific.
I do remember
there was another kid who kind of had a rat tail that his mom only packed him sweets. So he had like a bag full of like
That's
moon
irresponsible.
pies and Nutter Butters and all kinds of shit, and he didn't like it, so he would always just give me. And I was like, this is every day by the lockers. I'd give him like an apple because he wanted like real food, and he'd switch me.
He wanted real food.
He'd switch me for a moon pie. I was like, this is the best
great
day.
trade ever.
Oh, but this kid was.
Can I tell you something?
It.
To me, one of the most exciting parts of elementary school in the 90s, maybe not exciting, one of the true, like if there was, money doesn't mean much to you in elementary school. Money has little value to you because you can only use it for so much.
Unless you have $2 in your pocket, then you're king of the fucking
that was like
world.
a school. Yeah, that was a school lunch.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in high school, even up to high school or middle school, my mom would give me $20 a week,
cash
for food, for lunch, to buy
cash
lunch.
money.
Yeah.
And you said you were responsible for the $20.
$20 when I was in middle school felt like $55 million.
Oh yeah,
I felt like I don't even know
you
how
kept
I can
accidentally
spend
showing people. You're like, oh my god, that's right, that's my 20.
I felt bad for taking it. I felt bad for taking the 20 because in my head I'm thinking there's 5 possible lunches this week. Lunch costs $2 a pop, so that's $10. It was like she was giving me. It's like if your rent in New York is $1,000, it'd be like the landlord giving you an extra $1,000 to play with.
And what did you do with the money? That's $10
that extra,
a week. That's $2 a day.
a week. I remember they had.
Did you get double lunches? Because that's what I would have done.
Fruit snacks around. You could buy like these supplementary naughty stuff at lunch. Things like fruit snacks and you get like an iced tea. So I'd be splurging out, maybe spending $3.50 at lunch, but $20 went a long way. But as far as like things that are tradable, especially in elementary school in the 90s, to me the two most, in lieu of cash, it was Capri Sun. If someone came in with a Capri Sun, man, you're sticking the thing in the top. Capri Suns were so exciting, and also a Dunkaroo.
Yeah.
Dunkaroos and Capri Sun, you could be the king of the school. You could take over an entire school. Forget about a black belt in karate. If you came in with Dunkaroos and a Capri Sun, the girls are flocking over you. Valentine's Day in elementary school, you got Dunkaroos and Capri Suns. Everyone's huddled around you. Let me dunk my Dunkaroo. Let me stick my straw, and then you get a sip.
They never sold
skinny straws too.
Did you ever see the kid that would turn the Capri Sun over and he would put the straw in upside down?
No, that sounds like a rat tail type move.
Yeah. Anyone that went against the grain, I was always like intrigued by them. I was like, what the hell is this guy doing? What does he know that I don't know?
My mom is a dental hygienist, so I never got Capri Sun. So I was like embarrassingly bad at stabbing the straw into the Capri Sun. Like I would be sticking it straight through. It's gushing out one side. You're trying to suck it out. You're losing percentages. You got half going outside. Half going into the world, half going into your mouth.
No, man. I was never a Capri Sun guy anyway.
I didn't even know you could have Capri Sun cold until like 4 years ago. I always had warm Capri Suns from lunch.
Just from that hanging out in the cupboard?
I didn't even know they were cold.
I was a chocolate milk guy for a long time because I was always a lunch at school guy. I never brought my own lunch.
Chocolate milk is horrible for you. I think they stopped serving that.
They had chocolate and strawberry milk. I remember as maybe like starting sophomore year of high school, I was like, I can't keep sucking these chocolate milks.
Really bad.
Moved to 2%, and the cafeteria people were like, I think we have regular milk. They had to like find me a carton of regular milk sometimes. I was like, it's just chocolate and strawberry. That's all you got.
I think it didn't. I don't think that they did it in my elementary school past kindergarten, but there was, in my kindergarten, Miss McManus, shout out Fisk Elementary, they used to roll a red wagon in halfway through the day that was just milk time. And during milk time, they gave you, who were 6 years old, the choice between regular milk or chocolate milk. I still remember milk time.
You're just looking at the teacher like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
This is crazy.
Yeah. Give me the regular milk, Miss McManus. Give me the chocolate milk. Shut up.
Chocolate milk. But there's so much sugar in chocolate milk. It's terrible for you. You know the state drink of Rhode Island? I'll give you 5 seconds.
Are you going to give me options or I have to guess?
No, you got to guess because I'll give it away. State drink of Rhode Island.
State drink of Rhode Island? I'm going to say it's pelican piss.
Are there pelicans there?
I don't know.
I feel like that's a Florida thing.
Rhode Island just seems like a real bird state.
Maybe a seagull.
Seagull piss?
No, the state drink of Rhode Island. The state drink of Rhode Island, which I don't know if you've ever had this.
Don't sit here and tell me what I have or haven't had. Okay. I've had pelican piss.
Well, let me just make sure.
You never slept with your mouth open, passed out with your mouth open on a beach? Tell me you never had pelican piss before. You never had turtle turds?
Turtle turds sound good. Okay, this is right.
They do sound like
I'm glad that I'm relaying the correct information.
Let's go.
The state drink of Rhode Island is coffee milk.
Of course, coffee milk? Yes.
You know coffee milk?
Yeah, I know coffee milk.
You're from the South. How do you know about coffee milk?
Buddy, I grew up in the South, and I escaped the minute I could. I'm a worldly traveled man. When
have you had coffee milk in New York? I can't find it.
I don't know if I've had it in New York. Honest to God, I probably had it. I was in Rhode Island not too long ago with Mark Riccadonna. I'm pretty sure that's where we had it.
In Rhode Island.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Some weird, great little bar show. It was fun as shit.
Well, it's an interesting, I think what people associate with when I say coffee milk, I think I even brought this up to my wife recently.
Right before she judo chopped you in the skull?
Yeah, she chopped me in the fucking head.
You ever swing on, not like you're an abusive guy, ever.
Did I ever swing?
No. But now, do you think you never in no world do you, Mark Jagarjian, would you ever think about laying a hand on your wife maliciously? And I'm just saying that right now. I know you enough to know that would never happen. But now that you know she's got skills, has it ever crossed your mind when you're like, fuck, now I can't hit her? Because now that you know that she's a trained assassin.
Forget me doing anything first.
Never.
It would never happen. But have I thought about her just fucking doing this leg thing she showed me? Yeah. You
never thought she'd ever hit you. Now you're like...
Her foot was like 3 feet above her head. I'm like... And she did this like roundhouse type thing.
And was in good form too? She wasn't like falling off balance?
And it wasn't like she needed prep or needed to like stretch to do this thing. She's just like, yeah, I'm a black belt in karate. I never told you that. And then I was like, what? No, you're not. No, she's not. Like I threw her a clementine once. It hit the wall. Like she can't even. She has the worst hand-eye coordination.
To be
I've ever
fair,
seen.
you were throwing her a slider down the middle.
Yeah, it's like I underhand. I'm like, hey, do you want a clementine? She goes, can you get me a clementine from the fridge? I throw it, hits the wall. She even did one of these, and then she does this kick thing with her head. She puts her fists up like this, and her foot goes over her head, and she does like a 180 with her foot, like quick. Where did this come from?
That's crazy.
So now do I know that she can do that? Yeah, it's scary a little bit.
Right. So So it's okay. So the answer is yes. Now you definitely will never hit your wife.
Oh, because I'm gonna get.
Because now you know for sure. It never crossed your mind that it was a possibility, but now you know it's not.
I saw a non-aggressive, not even mad, scary kick.
That's tough.
So I don't even want to know what happens. She hasn't even given me an easy. I don't even know how fast she could go.
You just start showing up with little slices of wood. Be like, "What you got?
Yeah.
Go ahead, break it. Go ahead, one shot. Don't use your palm. I want to see it
How
with your knuckles."
How are we gonna get this bed frame downstairs to the trash? Oh, right in half.
So coffee milk.
I brought it up to her. I'm like, yeah, coffee milk is the state drink of Rhode Island. I was trying to look for it. I was like, maybe they sell it in New York, which I don't think they do. And she's like, oh, you're talking about iced coffee? I'm like, no, it's not iced coffee. Are you talking about coffee syrup? I'm like, no. It's a very interesting balance. I think it goes with the percentage of milk to coffee flavor. But it's almost like a little bit, it's like 10% coffee.
It's like all
flavor.
Sweet milk. It's like coffee flavored milk.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. But I don't think people even can rack their brain to think about what that tastes like.
Right,
but it's the equivalent of like chocolate into milk for chocolate milk is coffee into milk for coffee milk. And it's fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get like a caffeinated thing. I don't know if it's caffeinated in that way. Like it's like I don't think it's a replacement for drinking your coffee, but I guess they sell coffee syrup that you can kind of make it at home, like in the same way you can make chocolate milk at home with chocolate syrup. But I think the best ones are the ones that are kind of pre-swirled up. Yeah, state drink of Rhode Island. That's a great fun fact.
I didn't know state drinks were a thing. What do you think the state drink? Don't look it up. I'll look it up. What do you think the state drink of New York is?
State drink of New York. Man, that's a great one. I would say I'm trying to look at the state as a whole, not as the city. I'm going to go with apple cider.
Apple cider. I would have probably gone with something apple as well.
Okay.
Milk.
Maybe this is the milk conglomerate the state drinks are just milk. Is every state some version of milk?
Yeah, no, because I looked up Massachusetts because that's where you're from.
And what's that one?
What do you think it is? See, that's what I thought. I went, maybe it's all some sort of dairy product because you know how big dairy likes to get their hands.
They got to get their scot in the action.
The official state snack of New York? Yogurt. The dairy industry has a
dairy
firm
industry.
grip around this state.
I don't buy that. Yeah. Okay, so state drink of New York is milk.
Yeah, New York is the national leader in dairy production. And they're ranked third in the United States for amount of milk produced.
Okay, so California's got to be number one.
I would say maybe Vermont. The Midwest
or Wisconsin.
Yeah,
Wisconsin, they love milk.
So Massachusetts.
State drink of Massachusetts. Well, I mean, if we're really talking about it, it's Bud Light.
Yeah, I was going to say vodka soda.
I've never seen more Bud Lights consumed per cap. More Bud Lights consumed in Massachusetts than anywhere else.
I've never seen someone so disappointed to not see a Bud Light or a Coors Light than people from Boston or Buffalo. They dig through a cooler filled with amazing craft locally brewed beers, and they're like, what the fuck is this trash?
No, this is a Bud Light state. I would go on record to say there's more Bud Lights consumed in Massachusetts than anywhere else. They take it so seriously. Bud Light is everywhere. That really should be the state drink. But what is the state drink of Massachusetts, man?
The state drink of Massachusetts. Do you want one more chance?
Let me give me another. Well, yeah, I mean Bud Light. Really
They're never alcoholic, obviously.
Yeah,
so you can.
So I was off on that. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm onto something. I'm going to go apple cider. Because that could be there too.
You're very close. You're very close.
What is it?
Cranberry juice.
Cranberry juice. I should have known that. Cranberry juice.
So, the state that drinks the most Budweiser.
Well, that's tough.
First of all, Budweiser is the most popular beer.
Well, you got to go per capita. Because the biggest alcohol producing or consuming states, I think, are Florida, Texas, and New York. Am I wrong on that?
Florida, Texas, New York is what?
The most like alcohol consumed in the state, not per cap. Per capita is what we're really going after. I think per capita, Bud Light's consumed has to be Massachusetts #1.
Well, the #1 beer in Massachusetts is Budweiser.
100 million%.
Now, how many gallons per person per year do you think is consumed
how many gallons?
in Massachusetts?
God.
And I know gallons to ounces to
that's
quarts
like weird.
is different.
Yeah, that's how many gallons per person, including men, women, child?
How many gallons per capita, which is?
I would say 3 gallons.
3 gallons per year.
Per year?
Yeah.
Average? What is it?
21.1. You were close.
I was just home, and we were watching the AFC NFC championship game with my my mom, my stepdad, my brother-in-law, and I got sent in to go get beer for everyone, and I grabbed just like a case of Coors Light. I came outside. My brother-in-law looked at me. He goes, "Oh yeah, that's all right. I'll go back in there and get some Bud Lights." Like it was not even an option for him and my stepdad. Like he literally looked at the Coors Lights. I got a 24-pack of Coors Lights, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I mean you can have that, and then I'll go just get some more Bud Lights."
What do you think?
I had messed up so significantly that even this 24-pack, he was just like, "You can have that," but I had to go back into the store to get Bud Lights, and I had to go back and get Bud Light.
That's so funny.
It's not even an option. And they brand the Bud Lights. I think they do this in other states for other things too, but they brand the Bud Lights for every season. Like, oh yeah, these are the Patriots Bud Lights. It's going to help us this season or whatever. They do everything is Bud Light.
What do you think is Budweiser the number one state for Budweiser?
#1 state for Budweiser per cap?
Well, yeah. Like what's the most consumed? Who consumes the most Budweiser products in any other state?
Man, I'm going to go.
It's a neighbor. I'll give you a hint. To your
New
people.
Hampshire?
New Hampshire, the #1 consumer Budweiser in the country. And now 21.1 gallons per capita which is per person.
So then
based on the
Massachusetts
state,
is pretty close.
Is Massachusetts. So what do you think Vermont, or I'm sorry, what do you think New Hampshire's gallons per
32.
person? Yeah. 41.5.
Oh my God. You know what brings down
twice the amount of Budweiser.
That's because
I want to go to New Hampshire right now.
Because you know what New Hampshire is like New Hampshire is all the same Massachusetts people who are driving up that per capita, but you take all the fucking nerds out. Because in Massachusetts you got all the aristocrats and all the the scholars and the professors in there in Massachusetts. You take all that out, that's New Hampshire.
Florida's they're 25 gallons per person, and their most consumed beer,
Corona.
Stella. Ugh. I would have thought for sure it would have been Corona.
I don't like Stella at all.
Stella's trash.
Stella
you
in
go
the
to
UK,
Italy, people don't drink that shit.
They don't drink that.
Nobody drinks
in
that.
In the UK,
fake
they
Italian bullshit.
I asked for Stella when I was in London, and they refer to Stella as wife beater beer in the UK.
I love that so much.
Here it's like, oh, I'm so fancy, I'm drinking Stella. But they refer to it as that, as I was told, because it's the highest alcohol content per, like the alcohol level is so high.
Yeah.
So they
that
call it
sense.
wife beater beer.
There's some interesting things on this list if you want to hear some weird takes. North Dakota, the #1 beer consumed, called Fargo. Never even heard of that.
I've heard of this city.
Yeah. Wisconsin is Spotted Cow. Lone Star beer in Texas.
I bet Vermont has a weird one too.
Vermont's is Bud Light. They're
Really?
actually Bud Light's not on a lot of lists.
I thought it was gonna be Black
it's
Magic.
Bud Regular.
Or,
on most
isn't
lists.
it Black Magic a beer they make up there?
Nah, it ain't that one though. Mississippi, #1 beer consumed, Lazy
Pabst.
Magnolia.
Never heard that.
Never even heard of that.
Sounds kind of
And
nice.
Georgia is Terrapin, and I got to tell you,
Never heard of that either.
Terrapin was a craft,
Terrapin?
is a small brewery, or was a small brewery outside in Athens, Georgia, University of Georgia. Go Dogs, woof woof, national champs.
Terrapin
and it's
beer?
really good. They do really good beers. I used to. Well, I mean, I guess I still know him, but I haven't talked to him in years.
I've
but
never seen this
the
beer
director of operations and marketing at Terrapin was a friend
they
of
got
mine.
fun
His name's
logos.
Steve, shout out to him.
Fun logos. I could see why this would be popular. I get it.
Yeah, and they make a really great, like, real good beer called Hopsecutioner. That's just like an IPA, but it's like
I see it with a turtle coming out of the can.
Yeah. Well, Terrapin.
Terrapin is a turtle.
Yeah.
I get it.
And then you got those are Dos Equis in Arizona, La Cumbre in New Mexico. Denver Beer Company in Colorado. Wow, just some local
I didn't know
ass
that.
brewery.
That's very local, yeah.
Bud Light in Washington. Yeah, some interesting takes here.
Very interesting takes. Well, I'm not surprised. Well, we were doing state drinks. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah. What's another? I'm gonna look up Georgia to see if
state drink of Georgia. Oh, iced tea. Some type of weird iced tea drink.
Should be sweet tea, yeah,
but it's not.
Scarlett O'Hara cocktail.
Oh, so they do have alcoholic drinks. You're way off on that.
Know. Maybe you know what? Maybe all states don't, because this says the number one, the most popular, most famous Southern drink.
Oh, well, that's different. That's not the official.
But maybe they don't have
drink.
a state drink.
That doesn't count.
Wait, here we go. Yeah, Georgia doesn't have one. So every state
don't subscribe to that.
That should be a federally mandated.
You got to have a state drink. You should. It should be mandated.
Yeah.
I did go back to Boston last weekend. Saw my Mimis. I got two. Both my grandmothers are alive. In their mid to late 90s. Pretty wild.
Do you think that you're gonna like lose it when they die? I feel like at a certain point it's like,
no, I don't.
You got to feel lucky that your grandparents. You're this old with grandparents.
For sure,
yeah.
I think that I don't know. You obviously are gonna have some sort of feeling, but it's different if you lose a grandparent or anyone who's lived a true full life. It's different.
Yeah.
And then some. I mean, I think the average life expectancy in the United States is mid to late 70s. So they're like 20 years past, the average life expectancy.
77.28 years is the life expectancy.
Which is also wild because I think my mom is going to be almost 70 soon. Not like tomorrow, but in a few years, which I just can't imagine my mom being 70. It doesn't feel real.
No, I don't think I'll make 70. I used to not think I'd make it to 30.
Really?
I remember my 30th birthday, I was like blown away that I survived.
Because of your size, the girth?
First of all, I
girthiness?
Don't appreciate that.
No, like you had what's this like syndrome that you grow too fast? You're like, I'm gonna grow, my body can't sustain.
Yeah, it's called fat assery. It's called
the Domino's diet.
It's called the buffet syndrome. Bro, the Golden Corral across from Universal Studios on Hiawassee.
Golden Corral.
I used to go to that place I get sick almost every other time, and I didn't give a
Golden
fuck.
Corral was the official sponsor of Rollins College baseball my freshman year. They weren't really the official sponsor, but my coach, when we traveled to go do a game, we drive from Orlando down to Miami. You have to stop for a team meal, and the only place that coach would go is Golden Corral, and we had the worst season in like 15 years of the team.
Smart guy.
How could you unleash 30 19-year-olds at a Golden Corral? I'm eating fried chicken. I got roast beef, mac and cheese. I got ice cream. Dude, our entire team was running at like 40%.
Wait, in advance of the game, he would take you to Golden Corral?
Advance of the game, you drive down there.
That's
You're
crazy.
30 minutes outside. You got batting practice an hour. And he's like, all right, we're going to all stop at Golden Corral. Throws down the credit card, the school's card.
He probably gets a bonus if he doesn't spend all the budget. He probably gets to split it.
But you think about how can you feed 30 kids for like $15 a kid?
$15.
And we got unleashed on the buffet. And imagine what
the employees thought. Imagine what the employees like, oh shit, y'all wearing your cleats?
Carving stations.
It's a wrap.
Nightmare.
No.
Nightmare what we were consuming. It was disgusting.
I was a huge fan. Anyway, no, so I thought I was going to die because my uncle, two of my mom's brothers died young from like heart-related issues. And then her dad died of a heart attack. So I was just...
You get checked out?
Yeah. And I had to have surgery. Like when I was 32, I believe, yeah.
Valves?
Yeah, I had AFib, atrial fibrillation, where there's wrinkles in my arteries. And
wrinkles?
So they had to go in and iron out the wrinkles.
No shit.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. I do a whole bit about it.
I have
I've
heart murmur.
I've done stand up for the American Heart Association.
Really?
Telling the story, just talking about the heart process. Because it was very difficult, very
they had to
emotionally
go in,
painful.
And they full surgery?
Through my crotch.
No shit.
Yeah. The veins in my groin.
I'm sure you were looking for other options.
Yeah. No, not really. Because that or open chest.
I guess.
But that's not it's not. They call it a procedure, but it's definitely like I was in the hospital like for 2 days. Like it wasn't outpatient.
It's a surgery.
I guess technically not, because they have to cut you open. But this, they basically put a large needle in the artery in your groin, and they open up the vein and they stick a tube through one of your ventricles, dude, all the way up to your chest, like through your body, and then in there they like freeze out the wrinkles. Yeah, yeah. Your face is absolutely right.
I pass out in hospitals. I have like a problem.
Oh, I don't like the smell. And then the worst, oh man, I could do the whole bit. I don't want to though, because there's so many things that happen that are like, how is this legal?
That's really tough.
My cardiologist, who's still my cardiologist, great guy. We're the same age, which is disappointing for my parents. He told me that because it's supposed to be a 3-hour procedure, but it was 5, because they put the wires all the way up and they couldn't reach to my heart because I'm so tall, I'm so big. And then afterwards, when he apologized, he goes, "Hey, it took 5. Sorry about that. We had to call the zoo to get the elephant cords." I was like, "All right, buddy,
enough.
Leave it be, pal.
Jeez, man.
Be a cardiologist. Stop having a personality."
Great
guy. Shout out Dr. Bassim. Great guy.
Bassim.
Yeah, Kabir Bassim. If you're looking for an incredible cardiologist in New York City, Dr. Bassim. Guy's great.
I feel like I'm okay with anything that has to be done to me, but I have a real issue with hospitals, smell,
it's
lighting,
tough.
and I've passed out. I've been admitted, visiting people, and admitted myself, I think 3 times.
Because you passed out?
Yeah.
Wow.
My grandfather had a heart attack, survived it, but I went to go visit him.
And you didn't survive.
I was admitted.
You didn't survive your grandfather's heart attack.
I go to see him in the ICU, right? That's what it's called. And I'm in there, and this was after they did everything they needed to do. And I'm in high school, and I'm standing over the bed, and I'm talking to him. And the next thing I know, I wake up in the ER. My dad told me about it. He said, you were talking to your grandfather, and then the lights just went out, and you just literally fell directly backwards like a cartoon.
Did you smash your head or anything?
Smash my head.
Oh, that's why they
mildly concussed.
Holy hell!
And yeah, and then I was like, then I was just a problem. Then they're like, no more. So then, and it happened 2 other times.
What are they going to do? What are you going to do if you have a baby?
I think I've gotten a lot better.
You shake your hand on the way to the hospital.
I think I've gotten a lot better.
See when you get back.
I'm trying to see if I can pull up the. It's so funny because I want to pull this text up because my grandmother she's in a what do you call it, rehab facility, because she had like I don't know if it was a fall, but she had some she's 95, so she had a thing, so she had to go into a rehab facility, and that's where I saw her. And it's become such a problem that my sister had texted me the day of, because she knew that we were going to this rehab facility, aka a hospital. It's sort of a hospital. And she goes, this is the text she sends me. "You're going to be fine. Don't stress out. It will make it worse. Maybe what we can do is see Mimi on the way home. You can come home and have lunch, do the call, and just see Mimi so you can close your eyes and I can guide you to the room. And make sure you wear your masks and you have lunch, and keep your head down as you walk down the hallway. You're going to be okay."
And a helmet.
Yeah, and wear a helmet.
Knee pads. You're going like, what is this, a rollerblade?
But even my sister, in other words, is like, we got to make sure you're fed. We got to make sure that you don't look around. And she did this. She made me spray. She's like sent my mask out so I don't smell the hospital.
Interesting. This is a syndrome,
It's hospitalisk.
Vasovagal syncope.
Well, it has vagal in there.
Yeah, which is pretty.
That's a little rub on me.
Pretty clear, yeah. Overreaction to an emotional trigger has your nervous system
freak out.
Increases your blood pressure, and then you pass out.
I think I just don't like to see people in pain, or I don't like. It just, I don't know.
I hate hospitals
too. I hate
hospitals. My mom got in a really bad car accident when I was in high school. Like, she still can hardly walk as a result of it. This is 20-some years ago. But the smell of her hospital room, we all just we talked about it. We were like, because it was like rotting flesh.
Oh my God.
And we were like, look, your mom, she's got wounds. It's a whole thing. Like, you're just gonna have to deal with it. It turned out it was one of the fucking bouquets of flower.
That's really?
This particular flower smells like death.
That seems like not something that should be sold in the gift shop. We have roses, and we do have the rotting flesh bloom right now. It's wonderful.
Yeah, it smells like Limburger cheese, garlic, rotting fresh, smelly feet. It's called the corpse flower, which I don't know.
How could they possibly sell that in a hospital?
What kind of deviant piece of shit would have sent my mother death flowers?
Corpse flower sounds...
Corpse flower, yeah.
That sounds horrific.
Yeah.
But as with anything, it's so funny, or it's not funny, it's just interesting to see, like, my grandmother's just in great spirits. She loves it. You know, she's getting better. She feels like she's getting stronger there, and she's been there for a couple weeks, and, you know, it kind of calmed me down.
Which is good. It's good that you have a family that cares. Mine didn't come up when I had heart surgery.
No shit, really?
I was there by Jason Cantor was the only one, really funny guy. He was the only one that showed up to the hospital.
Oh, man.
I took an Uber to the hospital, too. But good, I'm glad your family was super into it.
Maybe they just thought it was just a procedure.
Yeah, maybe. They did ask me, my dad goes, we don't need to come up for that, do we? And I go, well, I think you just answered your own question.
My wife just got her wisdom teeth taken out. I didn't realize that was such a big deal. I kind of felt bad.
Yeah, that's a surgery. It's a full-on, like, they're ripping bones out of your head.
She's got, like, big puffy cheeks right now. I think
that's
it's really
not because
cute.
you tried to chop her?
No, but I can't make fun of her. She's actually taking it very well, and it's pretty. I think it's so cute. She looks like, you know, those videos where they have the squirrels that try to store all the peanuts in their mouth before winter.
So funny.
That's what she looks like now, because she had to get 3 out.
Oof.
So her whole face is all swollen, and she's trying to do these like calls from home for work. But
I've had a dentist tell me because I have wisdom teeth, bottoms and some coming in the top.
I got 3 too, and I still have them in.
They were like, I was like, do I need to get these pulled? Because I really don't want to. They're like, no, you got a fucking huge mouth. You're gonna be fine. They only need to be removed if they're like you don't have enough room for them.
Right.
But I got room behind my wisdom teeth. They're like, you can grow another set and still have plenty of room.
Some don't come all the way in, and that's kind of the problem. Sometimes they come in halfway, and then the stuff gets stuck in there, whatever. Mine came all the way in, so I'm just kind of dealing with it. I have a little crowding issue because of it, but I'll deal with that. But
like the opposite of your comedy shows?
Yeah.
Come on, you walked right into that
I
one.
know. I wish my I
have a crowding issue. No, you don't.
No. We have plenty of space.
I felt really good about that one.
But
I ran to that.
I don't know if I'll ever get him out. I think but it goes back to the hospital issue. I have such a fear of doctors, dentists, all that stuff. My mom's a dental hygienist. She does my teeth. She cleans my teeth.
They put you out in the house before you get to the hospital. You go to sleep on your couch, wake up on your couch covered in bandages. What the hell happened? We took care of it.
I can't do it. My mom is pediatric dentistry, dental hygienist. So it's like kid dentist office. And I still go in on the weekends. My mom does my teeth.
Really?
Yeah. My mom still cleans my teeth, and she is aggressive. I feel like I need to get a new dental dentist.
How do you tell your mom you don't want her doing your teeth anymore?
Oh, she knows.
Oh, you've told her that?
Well, she's so aggressive. Like, you know, like there is a separation between you and the dental hygienist where, like, I don't think a dental hygienist wants to hurt you. They're scraping all the stuff. She calls me the Tartar King. I don't know if that's true or not. But, you know, they're scraping the stuff off. And, like, there is some, you know, you're still a guest in their office. You're still a paying person.
Right.
My mom, she goes ham. She goes in on it like she's cleaning like a stain off of a baseball jersey when I was a kid.
Like she's trying to get wine out of a new carpet?
Yeah. She's cranking away, and she brings me in, I think, on the weekend so no one can hear me scream. Like, there's literally no one around. I'm like, Mom, I don't know. There's no one else here. And she goes, oh, yeah, it'll be easier for this way.
Do you bleed?
Oh, my God, gushing.
Really?
Yeah.
I bleed every time I floss, no matter how often I floss.
She tells me the same story. She's been telling me since I'm a kid. She goes, you got to floss this way or your teeth are going to fall out, which I think she just tells all the kids, you know, your teeth are going to fall out. She goes, you're going to have gum disease or something. I don't think so. I feel like I'm not like a prolific brusher, but I feel like I'm brushing standard.
Are you electric or?
I recently converted to an electric toothbrush.
It's a game
Friend
changer.
sent me one. I saw he was using one. I'm like, what do you think? Sent me one, and I'm now in on the electric toothbrush game, but I can't bring it on the road with me. Why? Or I can, but I don't.
Why?
Because you got to get a case for it, or else it's going to get all loosey goosey up in there.
Oh, stop!
What do you got to cover the head with something?
Your toiletry bag doesn't have a zipper pocket in it.
Oh, you zip pocket it.
That's the only thing I put in my zip pocket. Is that so it's on its own. It's not commingling with the deodorant and the lotions.
I found that the one thing that turns me off about this electric toothbrush is the fact I got to charge it with a USB, and now my computer doesn't have a USB thing. I got to buy an adapter to charge my toothbrush. There's some days I had to charge my toothbrush on my Apple computer.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
No, you got to get one with a base stand. The best, I've had a bunch of them.
The same, it has a base stand that's a USB. That's it. It doesn't even plug into a wall.
Amazon recommended, and I fucking hate promoting anything Amazon, but they're $30, comes with like 200 heads. It's lasted me years. I had to buy a new one only because I lost it.
200 heads?
It comes with a whole pack of like heads that I've never gone through them all.
Philips?
No, it's an off-brand. It's like a knockoff of Philips. It's got a bazillion 5-star reviews. It's got a wireless, like you just stop it on the chan, put it on the stand, plug it in the wall like a regular plug. It's the greatest thing I've ever had. And I can go a month without charging it. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable, Jerry.
I like my electric toothbrush.
Buddy, you don't.
I'm on board. I think it's nice.
I feel like you got to get a converter to charge a goddamn
I feel like it's made my teeth cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely.
Healthier. And it helps you hit those hard-to-reach areas.
Yeah, do you clean the back of your teeth?
Well, that's where I tartar out.
Oh, that's why I love the electric one. You just put it upside down like this.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good time.
It tickles a little bit. My mom goes ham on my tartar. It doesn't feel good.
No.
It doesn't feel good. But you leave and it's like, whoa, it's a whole new mouth. The thing they don't do anymore is they used to do the fluoride trays, which I hated. At the end of like a cleaning, when you're a kid and they stick the fluoride inside the trays and then they put a hose in your mouth and stick the trays down. I hated that. Now they don't really do that. They paint your teeth with some type of fluoride to keep them clear. I don't know what they do. But I used to hate the fluoride trays. I'd gag on it.
What about the little red, purple tablet they make you chew and it it clings to all the dirt on your teeth?
What?
You never seen this?
No.
Yeah, you go to the dentist. I haven't done it in years, but
they only do this at adult dentistry.
This is a dentist.
I still get a balloon when I leave.
They put it. It's like you chew on this tablet and you swish it around, and then you spit it out, rinse your mouth out. But then all the color sticks to like the tartar and dirt, so you can see where all your dirt is on your teeth and
I'm
shit.
calling my mom right now. Let's see.
Call her up and ask her.
She called me earlier.
Maybe I'm crazy. Well, do you want to put her up to the mic, or do you want to attach her to the Bluetooth?
Well, no, it's all right. We'll put her to the mic. We'll see if she even answers. She's probably at work.
Doubt it. She's out there just murdering
12
kids'
o'clock.
faces.
It could be lunchtime. See if mom answers. A tablet?
I'm telling you. I'm going to look it up right now.
She's not going to answer. I'm going to have to get this answer off show. She's probably issuing tablets now.
Your call has been forwarded.
That's it. Never going back there again.
Ready? It's a real thing.
What's it called? Well, I'm sure you didn't make it up.
Well, I could. Maybe I dreamt it. Who fucking knows? They're called plaque disclosing tablets.
What?
And
I feel like that'd be great for me.
And they have, and you could buy them. But check this out. Look, hang on. Let me.
Plaque disclosing a plaque
disclosing.
Plaque disclosing tablet.
And what they do is they cling to your teeth. And look at this.
Oh, man, I could really use that. She doesn't have to hunt.
So that way you know exactly where all the plaque and the buildup is, and then you could brush it off, or you can, the dentist can fucking, they know exactly what they're looking for.
I feel like my mom knows where all the plaque is. She goes in. She's she's a sicko, and she likes to get the plaque out. She gets a rush out of getting big hunks of tartar out. She
this one's so bad they turn blue and purple.
That's disgusting.
That's
disgusting.
That's despicable.
I don't like that at all.
That's awful.
Oh God, we'll see if mom calls me back. We'll see why they don't do that at Dr. Sears.
Yeah, your mom's dental places. Or do they give you? What do they do when they numb you? Numb you? Just a bottle of whiskey and a leather strap?
Numb me?
Yeah.
For what?
If you have to have a dental procedure or a root canal, a shot of Jack Daniels and some and some to chew on, some to bite down on.
I don't know. I've only had one cavity in my life. It was very disappointing and it was recent.
Oh yeah.
Only one cavity.
I'm nervous. I've never had one either. My dad's never had one though, so I think I got his teeth. My
good teeth, strong teeth.
My sister and my mom have they basically have chiclets in their mouth. They're soft and
ironically, these dental hygienists over here, they eat the most candy out of anyone.
Well, because they got access.
They got candy in their pockets at all times.
They got access to all the good stuff. If you didn't have to worry about your teeth because you work in a fucking teeth cleaning place, you're just constantly getting in there.
I think that's the legal name for it, too.
What?
Teeth cleaning place.
Teeth cleaning places.
I think that's the name of it. It's called the teeth cleaning place.
I'm a bright guy. I'm not smart, though. No one's
I
ever
can't believe my
accused me.
mom didn't answer. Well, now I'm disappointed. We'll see if she answers. A couple other news this week. Well, I don't know. Did you see this? Baldwin.
Adult 45.
I mean, I love these New York Post
the
articles.
Post.
But it says Baldwin was on cell phone during gun safety training, which I roll. Who isn't? Well, I read this.
He was tweeting about it. He was like, gun safety check.
Alec Baldwin is formally charged with involuntary manslaughter and the shooting death.
Which makes sense. He pulled a trigger and a woman died. That's why it's involuntary and manslaughter.
I'm conflicted on
murder,
this.
You know?
They're saying that he was on his cell phone during the gun safety training. The first thing that comes to mind is like, that would be like something happens on an airplane and they're like, oh, well, you weren't paying attention during the safety training thing about when you sat in the exit row. You weren't paying attention during the exit row demonstration.
Right.
Or you weren't paying attention during the safety demonstration on
But
the
if
plane.
you weren't paying attention to the safety demonstration and then the pilot said, here, hold the wings, hold the thing, and then the plane went down, you have some responsibility. It's not like you just didn't open the door properly. Like he put... Look, as much as I don't think that he's like... He didn't murder this woman.
No, there's no intent.
He killed her.
He killed her.
He's the one that pulled the trigger. Bullet came out. There's no doubt about that. But Baldwin...
I think...
Here's the problem. Can I tell you what my problem is? Sorry to interrupt. He's also like the executive producer.
Right.
So Buck's got to stop somewhere. And usually like when that girl, Sarah... shit, you're not supposed to forget this woman's name. Her name is Sarah Parker, Sarah Jones. She got killed on a train track when they were filming this, some movie about a band. But it was, for the longest time, a huge thing. Every clacker on a movie set or TV set had her name on it. Huh. Because the producers told everyone it was safe to work on those tracks, but they never confirmed they never did the proper things to stop trains from coming.
That's messed up.
And they went out on a bridge and a train started coming by and they all had to scatter and one girl got killed. Just a kid. She was like 22. She was working on set.
Yeah, I mean...
But the executive producers are in jail now because of that. Because that's negligent behavior. Now, it's not manslaughter. It's not murder, but it's manslaughter.
It's tough. I truly see both sides of this whole thing. It's like you can't not have someone responsible for someone being shot and killed. Like there has to be some justice for her death.
Well, of course.
There has to be something to be done.
Money is always a solution, but that's never like when they say like this. What's the kid from Memphis that just got killed? They're saying that the city's going to pay out his family all his money. I'm like, the guy's dead.
Yeah, what is that going to do?
Give him all the money you want. Like, okay, cool. They got cars. Big fucking deal. Their family member is gone. Did you hear about this? I heard this from Artie Fuqua. Told me about this yesterday. That apparently Black Twitter is circulating the fact that the cop. Now this is all alleged, but one of the cops that beat him in
the video.
Yeah. I don't want to get the guy's name wrong. It's killing me. But Tyree Nichols.
Okay.
One of the cops, Tyree was supposedly, all allegedly, was dating one of the cops' ex, and he wasn't happy about it. And they targeted him. Tyree Nichols was his girlfriend, was the ex of one of those cops, and he was targeted, and this whole thing was premeditated.
So it was a little vengeance in that.
Yes. And apparently supposedly he took a photo of him getting beat or like the aftermath at some point and sent it to that girl. Like, look what happened to your whatever. Again, this is all alleged. And I looked it up. It's unverified, which usually they're like false if it's not true, but they're like, we don't know.
We don't know yet.
All this fact checking sites.
I mean, honestly, it make sense. I see that someone has to be responsible. I mean, to me, obviously Alec Baldwin pulling the trigger is not good.
No.
That's tough. But the thing that really screwed him up is like, why lie about it? Like he did that big, I think it was 60 Minutes or big interview. He's like, I didn't pull the trigger.
Did he actually say? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I don't think I never knew that was even in question. Of course he pulled the trigger.
But then that's why even in this New York Post on the cover, it says FBI test, Alec must have pulled the trigger. which there was a time where he was like denying that he pulled the trigger, which
it's so weird.
He would have been better off if he just admitted to, yeah, I pulled the trigger, but then he denied that, which I think puts him in a deeper hole.
That's a tough situation.
It makes it sound like not as. But the person to me who's responsible in this Alec Baldwin, it's a tragedy on a film set. It's. But how could anyone have real bullets on the set? That's the inexcusable part. Who's responsible? Like, how could they even be within a
she's
mile?
She's on trial too. The armorer.
The armorer, I think, is the real.
She's the one
issue.
that loaded the gun. She's the one that's not supposed to have real bullets.
It's very clear.
Apparently, she was out in the desert, like off times while they weren't shooting, just firing. She had live ammo because she was a gun nut, and she was out there. People were firing real guns, target practice, all this shit. Which is, again, yes, but also, where's the producer? Why? Who's being like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. I've done shoots, movies, film, where there's guns on set, and every single person that's in the room or nearby gets a chance to examine the gun. The armor shows you the gun, they show you the thing, the whole fucking situation. So
yeah,
how the fuck that worked out is
I think he definitely has to be accountable. I think he shouldn't have. I don't want to say he lied, but it sounds like he at least had some untruths of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was fully lying. I mean, there could be more to it, but it's very sad. It seems like it's ongoing, and
hang
we'll
on.
see.
I'm sorry. My next people are in here. They're 1 second. Sorry.
Yeah.
I can edit this out. Hey, buddy. You downstairs or you upstairs? Okay, cool. I'll come get you the door in a second.
Is it Verzi?
6, yeah. 6. Yep. All right, yep.
Verzi?
Bobby Kelly.
Got it. Well, we're going to wrap up anyway. So we'll be back next week with another episode. Wow, we really went Tom Brady, to Alec Baldwin, to Mimi, to Capri Suns, karate.
This is a
really
good one.
Covered a lot.
This is fun.
It's fun.
And now I'm going to eat this goddamn eclair. I wanted the show to end 5 minutes in because these goddamn eclairs you got me. You're just staring at me in the goddamn face.
I got a whole bunch of eclairs for Rhea when she got her wisdom teeth out, and she looked at me like I was I
thought you got these for me special.
No, I got a couple of different boxes. She's like, I can't physically eat them.
I'm gonna roundhouse.
And then my mom yelled at me. She goes, "She can't eat eclairs." I'm like, I know someone will eat these eclairs. We'll be back next week. Thanks for tuning in to episode 5. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I appreciate you listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of Fresh Towel. So then, mahalo and deuces.